So what we're gonna do today, we're gonna do something different. We're gonna be replacing this steering wheel with a slightly different steering wheel here, and I'm just gonna show you how to do it. Okay, so first thing to do to change the steering wheel, you have to disconnect your battery, because otherwise you're gonna shorten your beep signal. Okay, so let's disconnect that battery. I'm gonna disconnect the battery, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to the car. We can shut this here, but I'm shutting my bonnet because it's raining, so I don't want it to rain in my car. Okay guys, so once your battery is disconnected, what you want to do is you want to press your beep signal for a good 10 seconds, because just in case there is any power left in anything, that's gonna drain it all out. So just press your signal for 10 seconds, right? So that should be good enough. What you're gonna do next is you're gonna need to spin your wheel a little bit, and as you can see here on one side there is a hole. So you have to use either a flat screwdriver facing like this, or as I'm using a size T30 Torx key. It's quite long, so it's gonna go nicely in a hole. But for this whole thing to work, what I need to do again, I need to press here quite hard at the same time as I'm putting a pressing Torx key here. What's gonna happen, the airbag here is just gonna pop out. So let's try to do that, shall we? All right, I'm gonna try to. Okay, so here we go. So I'm pressing my steering wheel, I'm pressing my Torx key, and what's gonna happen now is just gonna nicely come off like this. All right, and what do we have here? We have a airbag connectors on both sides. We have your beep signal connector here, and we have a Torx bolt. It's a size T50 bolt, which you're gonna need to undo in order to take our steering wheel off. So I would recommend to start from these airbag connectors here, just to show you how I'm doing it, so hopefully you can do it as well. It's just a little yellow clip, it pops nicely out. Be gentle with it, don't break it, because once it's popped out a little bit, what's gonna happen, you can see I popped it out a tiny bit. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be able to literally take another screwdriver and just pop the airbag connector off the actual airbag. There you go, just like that. Here we go. So that's your airbag connector. You see the yellow bit popped a little bit. When we're going to reinstall it, we're going to pop the yellow bit back in. What you can do now, just not to gain away, you can disconnect this signal on an airbag. And now what you're going to need to do, you take a flat screwdriver. I'm going to pop this one a little bit like this. Alright guys, next one to do is this connector here. Okay, so as you remember, it was like this. On other side there is a little clip here. You want to stick flat screwdriver, prime it a little bit like this, and then it comes off, because this is gonna stay with your old steering wheel and this is gonna stay with your comms unit. So now all the comms unit connectors is all in place. So what we're gonna do next, we're gonna take T50 Torx key to undo the Torx bolt. As you can see here, So T50 Torx bolt, we have to undo it anti-clockwise. Here you go. It's moving. Right. So undo this bolt before doing anything else. It's never been changed, I can tell. Nice and tight in there. Okay, once your T50 Torx bolt is out, one thing you want to make sure, don't pull it too hard, because the connectors are still in place. So you want to give it little taps, make sure it comes off. But these connectors, you have to be careful with them, because if you pull them too hard, your steering wheel, what's going to happen, you see what I'm doing is I'm giving a little taps from my back, but I'm holding it also with one hand, make sure that steering wheel doesn't come off flying, and slowly it's coming off. Then what you do, these connectors, you're gonna have to slowly put through this hole here, through the hole, you can see, yeah, because I'll show you why. So these connectors, pull them slowly through the hole, all of them one by one, just pull them through the hole. There you go, that's your steering wheel off. And the reason you want to pull those connectors slowly, because what people do most of the time, they make mistake, they pull a steering wheel hard and then they rip this membrane. Is like a cable's going around in circle around your inside your comms unit. When you pull it, it's very difficult to put it back together the way it was. So that's not something you want to do. You don't want to pull it, so you always try to be gentle when you're removing a steering wheel. Make sure those cables goes out nicely through the hole. Okay, so now we have another steering wheel ready. Now on a steering wheel on here, there is a markings. There is a markings on how it's supposed to sit. So what you want to do, you want to match up this with a marking on a little thing. I don't know if you can see, there is a little marking, and inside the steering wheel it's a little flat spaces. Not every teeth is equal. There is one slightly more flat space and two slightly less flat spaces. The rest is all teeth. So there's only one way to put your steering wheel back on, if that makes sense. Just a one way. Okay, so now we're gonna put our new steering wheel back on. So what I'm doing, I stick these connectors through the hole which we're supposed to go through first, nicely, with no much pulling and stuff, because I don't want to pull nothing out of my comms unit. I just stick it out nicely, everything goes nicely through. Once everything is nicely through, I just pull it like this, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just line my steering wheel up. It's supposed to be like this. Yeah, here you go. Now just tap it on a little bit, just stick it on a tiny bit like this. Doesn't really want to go on, don't know why. There you go. When it's proper lined up, it goes on. It's been a while since I've done it, so now we can put our T50 Torx bolt back in a place and tight this bolt up quite well. Right, so my bolt now is nice and tight. Okay, so I'm gonna, right, so next connectors to go is these. Just gonna clip it up like this and put them in a place where it was before, which is here. Here you go, it's back nicely in the same place. Okay, as you can see. Alright, so the first connector you want to do is this little cable here. If you took it off, and you probably did, so that is your beep, signal. So that is gonna go onto a connector here. I don't know if you can see. That's gonna go on the little clip on here. And now the airbag ones, the green one is gonna go in green side, and the black one is gonna go on the other side, which is here. We want to make sure you put it back nicely like this in a place, and then the yellow, just press the yellow clip back in. All right, so I have clipped my green and black connector, I don't know if you can see, back into my airbag. What I want to do now is I want to literally take this steering wheel like this, and then just hold it nicely in place. Just once it's nicely in place, I just give it a nice little tap like this, and that's your steering wheel back in place, a new one. So that's gonna stay on this car now. I quite like this design. I like a little bit of chrome bit. This has been just used and abused. Might need to go refurbished a little bit, and then we'll see which one is better, but for now this is gonna be the one. So what you want to do now, you want to just go back and connect your battery back on. So we're gonna just connect the battery back on. Okay, now let's have a look. As you can see, we don't have no airbag fault, nothing. There we go. Yeah, so the airbag works fine. And the beep signal works fine as well. There we go, job done. I've seen really different steering wheels placed on a Peugeot 407. There is quite a few people on if you have a Facebook, there is a Facebook group called Peugeot 407 UK. It's an amazing group. It's one of the friendliest Facebook groups around, and there is some guys who done like a really amazing job on their steering wheels, and could possibly give you some more better tips how to deal with all the electrics if you decide to install your totally different steering wheel. So yeah, go on a Facebook, find the group Peugeot 407 UK and join, because there's a huge community and they are really helpful. And please subscribe my channel if you can, if you find this video helpful.